Hey, we're back, and we didn't coordinate. We didn't call. We didn't figure this out. So anyway, our prom has been ruined.
Or made better.
Anyway, Twinsies theme song. Hey everybody, it has been a hot minute since we've had a TRIDENTcast. We have been away for various reasons for a while, but now we're back again. Guess who's back? Tell your friends.
We are.
Backstreet?
No, it's not. Anyway, only 90s kids will remember that song.
Fierd, fired.
Yeah.
All us youngins have been striking out with the old school references tonight.
Yeah, we did a Simpsons reference. We did a Super Mario Brothers 3 reference. We did a
Wrestling.
wrestling. A wrestling reference. $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Do you know who that is? Podcast question of the week. Just email us a one-word answer to lordsofthetrident@gmail.com. Don't put anything in the subject line. Just... money. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about because our last TRIDENTcast we had just finished opening for Marty Friedman, and that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was like February.
It was February, and it is now end of April. So yeah, we've got a lot to catch up on. So I guess first and foremost, for most of you who've seen the news, but we have now tonight, after Brent finally signed the contract, he's been traveling. We are now officially signed to a brand new record label out of Germany called Rothschild Records.
I had to talk to my agent.
Right, yeah, sorry, yeah, you do discuss with your lawyers and your agent.
Yeah.
Get the bassist fee. get the bassist clause.
Right.
You know? But yeah, so Rothschild Records is
Clause.
Yeah, I got it. That was good. So so we're the first band officially signed to Rothschild Records. It's a new record label started up by a friend of a friend over in Germany, who actually did all of the Mega Colossus tours of Europe so far. And his name is Raphael, and he's a really cool dude. We're super excited to be on there. And he is, speaking of other announcements, he is setting up our own European tour, and we are going to be in Europe September 27th through October 5th. And for the last half of the tour, we're going to be joined in Europe by our good friends A Sound of Thunder. So it's going to be another dual lineup, another January tour, another rehash of the January tour with The Sound of Thunder. But this time it will be over in Germany, and everyone will talk like this, and also in German and not in English. But maybe some of them will talk like this in English.
Yeah, I know everyone kind of speaks English over there, but I feel like one of us is going to have to brush up on some German.
Yeah. Hey, which one of us is the most German around here?
I probably know the most.
You probably know the most.
I took a bunch in college.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I forgot it, but I could pick it back up.
Okay.
I'm actually trying to brush up a little bit on it.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt if we both did.
Well, I've got to survive like 3 days of Oktoberfest, so...
Yeah, you're going early, and you're going to be drinking the whole time.
Luckily for you, the word beer is beer.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to figure that out.
Ein Bier, bitte.
Yeah.
It is spelled differently, though.
This is true.
Watch
Ich
out.
möchte trinken eine Pabst Blue Ribbon. Am's Wolf Fluid Ounces.
Yep.
Is ein Cat? Is that the?
Ein is one.
It's one.
One cat. Yeah. Okay. So, Brett, repeat after me. Ah, de schöne Blume.
Ah, de schöne Blume.
Ah, de frische Luft.
Ah, de frische Luft.
This is ein Primo-Moment
This is ein Primo-Moment
for Masturbieren in den Aftenland.
for Masturbieren in Aftenland.
Yep.
Perfect.
You and I both together just said, the sun is shining, the fresh air. This is a perfect moment for masturbation in the countryside.
Yes. So we should just walk
Fuck
around
yeah.
Germany saying that?
Yeah. Or the only other one I know is Ach, mein kleine Hosen, which means, oh, my small pants.
So do they have a the and an
Yeah.
They do. Okay.
There's several.
No, German doesn't do that. Sorry,
There's
Aki.
several of those.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
there's a masculine, a feminine, and a neuter. The.
Got it.
It's
okay.
crazier.
One is
Yeah.
eins, not ein, right?
Like,
Eins is
Ein
one.
is, you said one, right?
Ein, I think is like
Oh, it is.
Are you getting
okay.
that? Are you getting that
Eins.
from Cool Runnings? Are you like
Okay.
Eins, Wein, you know?
Yeah.
When they're,
So I take it like feminine's probably like Aina or something.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
The cat is like
Yeah.
Ein Katz.
The best German phrase I learned is "Du bist ein Sitzpinkler."
what is that?
It essentially it's like a German slang for a guy who has to sit down to pee.
Ooh. What is it? Sits.
Du bist ein Sitzpinkler.
Sprinkler.
Otherwise, yeah. When I was out with Ed Guy the first night we met up with them in Toronto, I saw the guitarist downstairs because they had just raided and stole all our beer, and I'm like, so I gotta know, are you playing Lavatory Love Machine?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, of course, it's fourth song in the set.
Yeah.
Only Scorpions outsell us in Germany.
Oh, Ed Guy. So yeah, so we're going to Germany. The European tour. We're headed to Brussels first. We're going to spend a majority of our time in Germany. We're going to hit up probably Prague, probably Amsterdam, maybe Vienna, but a lot of it is going to be Central Europe. So no UK, no Ireland this time. Maybe next time. I'd love to.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I hope we go to Prague. From what I hear, it's amazing.
I really do want to go to Prague. So I told Raphael, like, let's go to Prague.
I was
Michi's
there.
here.
I was in Prague and Vienna spring break of 2013 when I was still in grad school, and yeah, they're both phenomenal. Prague was awesome.
Reach over and grab the.
I saw the big cathedral, the bridge, the astronomical clock.
Oh,
all that stuff.
see, I don't know
really,
anything
really
about Prague,
cool.
so I'm excited to go.
It was just cold as hell when I was there though, for whatever reason.
Me too.
Like just brutally, like really sharp cold wind. So hopefully it won't do that this time.
Michi had a
Yep.
little
Michi wants to
shivers.
join the podcast. Come on up.
She have to go to the vet recently?
Michi went to the vet and she had her teeth cleaned. Here, let's see if she'll do her. Michi, give me a high five. Here, hold on. For the podcast, give me a high five. Give me a high five. Do it. Come on, give me a high five.
Performance anxiety.
Yeah, give me a high five, Michi. Good girl.
Oh.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. We got her trained for multiple different tricks.
In Austria, we visited one of Beethoven's houses that he lived in, like a little upstairs
Give me
apartment.
your paw. Good girl.
Nice.
And saw his death mask.
Ooh. High five. High five. Good girl.
Saw another apartment downtown where I think Haydn and Mozart had hung out. I saw this alley. I forget what it was called. Something to the effect of a whole band of Knights Templars were murdered in the street. And it still has that name of like Templar's Blood or something like that.
Whoa.
Like the alley is still called that.
So
metal.
I've been told
Anyway,
by Raph that the city that he lives in is kind of like a little touristy German town, and they have a bar that is a cellar of like maybe a castle or something from the 11th century that we'll be drinking beer in. So
That's pretty cool, yeah.
And they've got a castle like just next door, and it's got a beer garden. So
That's
there's
so
going to be we're going to have a lot of really great European, German, Belgian beer everywhere. It's going to be great.
Yep.
We'll shoot 70 episodes of Fangs Metal Beer Club, and every single one of them I'll forget to hit record. This is why we're Fangs Metal Beer Club.
Heil oder Dunkel.
The best part is we don't have to drive,
Yep.
so we can just...
Light or dark. You go into the tavern and those are your choices.
Ooh.
Heil oder Dunkel.
Dark all the time. Dunkel.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. There's a lot of logistics involved. We're really excited about that. We wouldn't be able to do this without the support of the people on our Patreon. So thank you, everybody, on the Patreon. Literally, the money for that you guys are pledging for the next couple months is going to cover flights, and we're renting a van and a backline and a driver and everything. And it would be like really kind of financially impossible for us to do this if it wasn't for your support. So thank you so much to everybody. Thank you from the bottom of our cold black metal hearts. Thank you for all of your support. So that's a thing. let's rewind a little bit. I think the next after Marty, the next thing we did was the heavy metal slumber party with Green Death and Droids Attack.
I think that's right.
Right?
Also at high noon. It's like we're playing nothing but like you're up in high noon in the end.
Well, ever since the frequency shut down here in Madison, it's kind of tough.
I was seeing how funny that was. I'm like, we're playing high noon a lot, which I don't mind. I really like that venue.
Yeah. So the whole idea was we wanted to put a show together for Brent's birthday, and the only slot at the only venue we could find was the late night slot at high noon, and we had to start like at 10:15, and us being old farts were like, oh god, no, why, so we decided to make it a theme party, and we just did a slumber party. Green Death came. Oh my god, sometimes some bands, you wonder if they would be cool with being all silly and getting into the theme of things, but man, Green Death showed up in.
They went hard.
They all went in like grandma 90s, like silken nightgowns.
They hardcore hit up the thrift stores and found
they threw down
old woman 90s to.
Yeah. No. So like, you see that and you're like, my people. These guys. I love those guys.
When you just did that, Brian, I imagine like seeing King Diamond. They're all in 90s like
that. So that was a fun night. It was the first show we ever live streamed on our Patreon, which is pretty cool. And we're going to be doing that more often now for all of the people that are on Patreon. We are fully mixed live streams, which are pretty awesome. So if you're not on the Patreon, jump on it today. Patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. Anybody at the behind the scenes level is going to get pretty much all of our shows live streamed, fully mixed, which is pretty cool. Anywhere there's internet, we're going to do that. What else? What else from the slumber party? Anything else stand out to you?
Droids played.
And Droids had a new lineup
of Droids Tech.
So their longtime drummer and their longtime bassist, Darwin, left the band, and it's just Brad now, and he recruited Riley, who is the drummer from Tiger Clutch, who we used to play with all the time. And I don't know, I can't remember their bassist's name, actually.
I feel like it's Jeff.
Jeff the bass. That sounds good.
Yep.
Bass the Jeff.
So, and I thought they did pretty good.
And I got real drunk, and they played all of my favorite songs.
Yeah, A+. You got to pick the set list for us.
Yeah.
So it was great.
They basically just know that I love Coco Beware, so they always play that.
I love that song, too.
Yeah, that was a wrestler, too.
I've heard that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was the Birdman.
He had a parrot.
Yes.
I wish I could understand all the lyrics to that song to know.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call up Brad and be like, hey, Brad, can you write those down
somewhere? What the hell
somewhere?
are you saying?
Yeah.
I've been listening to it for a decade.
There's no liner notes. There's no nothing. So, so that happened. What happened after that? Midwest Gaming Classic.
I don't know if there's a whole lot between now and then. Mm-hmm. We kind of laid low for a little bit, took care of some business. We're writing, so
yeah.
Aki's done a demo. I've put together a couple demos. So we are.
If you're on the behind the scenes level on the Patreon, you've heard some of the demos, and people love them.
Good,
love them.
So by the by, Shadows from the Past has been out for 9 months now. So
crazy thing.
As that works, it's time to start writing again already. So
yeah,
we got an okay start.
We had a baby kicked to the curb. Time for baby 2. The baby inning.
No.
Was Larry's Ren Fair before or after Marty?
I think we talked about Larry's Ren Fair last time.
I think that was before. Okay.
Yeah.
The WAMI thing was since.
So yeah, we can.
Yeah.
That was also
So funny story, right? So we were up for. So Brian and I went and played the Midwest Gaming Classic. Brian and I go every year. It's a classic arcade game and pinball convention. Shang Tsung is there. The guy who plays Sub-Zero and Scorpion and Johnny Cage is
that guy
there.
right there.
Yeah. This guy.
The real Johnny Cage.
Yeah, he's there.
Plays all those characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This year, Kung Lao was there. Who was there? Anyone else?
From the Mortal Kombat troupe, that was it.
That was it.
And then for other celebrities, they had Ernie Hudson of Ghostbusters fame and Crow And recently I saw him in Grace and Frankie, which is a kind of a quirky show on Netflix.
Who's he in Ghostbusters?
Winston Zedmore.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, one of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, one of the four.
Yeah.
And then Eric Bischoff from the old WCW wrestling days. And $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess that was it for big celebrities this time. But
but it's always a fun time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great time.
And normally I go on a Saturday, and Brian stays a weekend. Sometimes I go longer, but usually I go on a Saturday, and I just kind of like chill, play some games, and I spend most of the time like going around and talking to our contacts for Maddest Power to like set up the deals. You know, like, hey, how much you want for that cabinet? Oh, hey, you got some pinballs. Real nice. Would be a shame if something happened to them, huh? You know, like, but you know,
arcade games fell down, went boom,
boom. But you know, I do some wheeling and dealing for Maddest Power, and this time, the day before, I had a Taekwondo bell test, and a bunch of my students were testing, right? And the Grandmaster flew in, and it was a whole deal. Like, I couldn't get out of it. You know, there's absolutely no way. So we had the Taekwondo bell test. I didn't eat all day. We had the dinner that night. We had the after party down here. I had to kick everybody out around 11:30, after, you know, drinking heavily and exercising the entire day. And then I woke up at 6, drove to Milwaukee, met Brian, and we played an acoustic set at 11 a.m., at the Midwest Gaming Classic, which went really well. I thought it went really well.
Yeah, no, we played well. They put the stage there in the very back of the vendor hall.
Yeah, and I'm going to show the stage right here. The stage was
the stage was phenomenal. It's
amazing.
Just where they put the stage, it doesn't tend to draw like a ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it would take for them to put the stage at the front of the room, so that people walking by could hear what was going on too. Mm-hmm. It would probably congest like the main doorway into the vendor hall, but
yeah,
but it would be better. But I mean, we played well. Shang Tsung watched most of the set.
It was cool. It was cool.
Philip,
Dr.
Philip watched most of the set, and it was a great time.
Kung Lao was supposed to come sing Bon Jovi tune with us, but he slept in. He missed it. Yeah. So, alas, maybe next year.
I guess, what I did for that entire month off, besides demoing some Lord's tunes, is I prepared 16 different tracks from various video games. And this year, I kind of tried to up my game, and I added videos to go along with all of those. So as I played this music, footage from the game was on 2 TVs up behind me.
Was it you playing?
Yes.
No, not the footage, but...
Did you have to play
it? Okay, good
video,
question.
Video.
No, I would love to create my own video game footage. There's no way I had enough time to do that, though. I don't really have a way to record myself playing games yet. Like, I don't know, is that Twitch or
it's like a live stream.
You can, if you want to live stream it, yeah.
Yeah, I obviously there's ways to do that. I'm not privy to that as of now.
Mm-hmm.
So I ripped footage off YouTube.
Did you like time it out and everything?
Oh yeah, I spent lots and lots of time preparing the backing tracks, cutting and editing the video to fit the different stages and different cues, and
he did really good. I mean, I saw the final results were really good.
And then make sure I remember all of the actual fucking notes because there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's like kind of all I did for 3.5 weeks. It was a lot of work, and it turned out really well.
Good.
I will probably play that same program at the Mead Hall in July. I'm booked to do a solo show there.
Mm-hmm. I would hope so. If you put so much work into it.
Well, and I mean, if you're on the Patreon, you might see a couple of those coming down the pipe. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Kind of up in the air.
Turned out pretty well. I played a lot that weekend, but it was a great time. And then, as that was wrapping up, in the blizzard.
Yeah.
I'll hand off to you now.
So we played the set. It went really well. They were gonna supply somebody to sell our merch, but the person called in sick. So I stayed at the booth for a couple hours selling merch, and then I was like, I gotta pack up. So I packed everything up, put it in the guys' games and beer room, and then I had approximately like an hour and a half to run around and find everybody I needed to talk to. So I was like, ah, like running around and like handing demo CDs and shaking babies and kissing hands and being like, how much for your pinball? Tell me. I don't have time, damn it. And the whole time in Milwaukee, it was just snowing and slushing and freezing rain. And we were like smack dab in the middle of downtown Milwaukee. And I forgot to eat because I was just running around, just running the whole day. So we played a show, running around the whole day. So by the end of the day, I'm wiped. And that night, the Midwest Gaming Classic ends at 5. And we are up for a WAMI, which is the Wisconsin Area Music Industry Awards. And the award show starts at 6, right? And I know it's going to go until like 10:30, and then I'm going to have to drive an hour and a half home from Milwaukee. And so I'm sitting here, slushing rain, packed up, headache, exhausted. I got to find a place to, A, kill an hour and probably eat, and B, change into my costume, and then go to the WAMIs. And I see like just nothing but cop cars everywhere because people are like crashing into each other because there's black ice everywhere. And to top it all off, like we're going to be at the WAMIs for a couple hours, and then we're going to have to drive home in the dark, like on black ice, like the whole way. Like I know for a fact it's going to happen. And so it's going to take us like 3 hours. So I looked at Heidi and I'm like, you know what? We get nominated for this thing every year, and we never win. And it's fine. It's fine because the people who win deserve it. They totally do. But like, man, I've done this for the last 4 years, and we've never won. And it's fun to go. I like going, but God, I'm just not feeling it right now. I really just cannot. I just can't even. I can't even. So I'm looking at Heidi, and I'm like, all right, let's just... Also, to top everything else off, it's the premiere of Game of Thrones. And all of my friends are sitting around in their pajamas drinking froofy beer in front of their roaring fires, watching the premiere of Game of Thrones, and I'm like, I want to be that. I want to be there and do that. Why can't I be, I gotta go to this award show. God damn it. So I looked at Heidi, pounding headache, hungry as shit, and I'm like, all right, let's cut our losses. Let's just go home. So, because we're not going to win.
They didn't pick a good night to do it the night of the premiere of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're not going to win. Whatever. So we drive home. We stop, get some food, and I go over to my friend's house. I'm like, hey, I'm in. Let's do this. So we go over to the friend's house. Pajamas, froofy beers, pretzels, Game of Thrones. Watching Game of Thrones. Halfway through the Game of Thrones, my phone starts blowing up. You won. I'm like, God fucking damn it. God, like the 1 year that I skip it is when we win. And Heidi was making fun of me. She's like, why is your husband so mad? Oh, he won another fucking award. So of course, I'm super excited we won the WAMIs. So we won.
It's the first time.
Sweet. The trophy is cool. I mean, it's a big old chunk of crystal. It's really neat.
You can cut cheese on it. And
you
stuff.
can. You can use it as a platter. It's really nice.
Is it for like an album or for just being
being awesome, just being alive?
I think it's Hard Rock Band of the Year.
Well, it's Hard Rock Artist of the Year.
There's a separate
artist,
one
Brian.
that Connection was on.
What? I don't think so.
I looked on the website at least. It said for 2018 it had a separate hard rock and metal category, and we were in the hard rock category, and Connection was in metal.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Which
I find really funny because
I'm gonna go get the award. You guys talk.
Is what
the most metal band
on earth, and we got put in a hard rock category.
Wait. For this year, so Connection still won the metal.
That's why I find
some other metal band won this year. Yeah.
But that's why I find really
spacing
funny
their
is
name
that we still didn't win the metal award.
There's a better metal band than Connection? All right.
What I find funny too is I feel like if you showed your average metalhead or even average listener Tormentor or Zero Hour, who would not call that metal?
No.
I would call it.
I think it's hard rock.
Lords of the Triad, more like Lords of the Cosplay. Lame.
So yeah, look at how hefty this is. This is a big old hefty piece of acrylic.
You could fuck someone up with this.
Yeah.
Maybe they only listen to Wicked Touch and nothing else.
Yep, that's it.
That would be really funny.
It's pretty nice, yeah. So anyway, it's mine now. So
Dog water.
So that happened. And that was
hold it.
Yeah. See, it's pretty hefty, right?
Yeah, it's got heft.
Yeah.
Those corners are sharp.
You can kill a man with that.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So, so that happened. That was cool. We're super excited. We won. That's pretty neat.
So thank you for everyone who voted for us, I guess.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough with how cool we are. Let's get to the coolest part of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Aki's cat picture of the month. Here it is. Biggity bam. The best cat picture you've ever seen. I know, right? Look at it.
Look at the size of that platform.
All right. Aki, tell us about...
Okay. Well, I guess I did these ones a little bit last minute.
Yeah.
But so I have two actually. The first one.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Well, you can just describe it, and we'll just try to picture it in our minds.
Okay. So the first one is, I know what you're thinking. Well, actually, I don't, because you can't see the thing. But
It's right there. I can see it.
I can see it.
It's right there.
although they're very anatomically different. I love how much this cat looks like a baby harp seal here.
I see it. I see it.
Like honorably putting himself like in the way of this person's homework, so now they can't get it done.
Good.
Helping them procrastinate and do stuff such as watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And how cool would that be? A tabby seal.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of baby harp seal jokes could you make if we had cat seals? Anyway.
Yeah. Nobody would club a seal if the seal looked like a cat.
Yeah. Not to mention it could scratch you.
Right.
And then the other one I chose for two reasons, and that is it's a chonker. And I think like that's like the term that the internet is using for fat cats these days.
Chonker.
Along with like
chonker.
doggo and blep being when like cats do the like this. Chonker when is the term they're using for fat cats.
That's a pretty great word.
And I've noticed this trend in the last few years on Reddit, and that is people booking an Airbnb and having a pleasant or unpleasant surprise with the Airbnb coming with a cat. And
Especially a chonker
planning
cat.
a trip recently, I tried Airbnb for the first time, and I was amazed. Like, I already find it kind of fun to like see the interiors of houses and whatnot, and to find out like, ooh, could this house or apartment maybe have an unnamed cat that they're not going to tell us about, and
That's exciting.
Especially like I found that you can a lot of, if you're in like a rural area, you can book like farmhouses and whatnot. And what do farms have? Lots of
Cats.
Feral cats.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. Lots of like barn cats and whatnot.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have like dogs and horses and whatnot, but I feel like most
Always cats though.
I feel like farms pretty much always have like
Sometimes cows.
yeah. I feel like you're almost
mainly
always
cats.
guaranteed, though, like a cat and probably a horse and some kind of chicken-like creature.
Yeah.
But
Chicken-esque.
this black and white chunker, they said like our Airbnb came with an unnamed edition or whatnot, and I saw it and I was just like, oh man, like
Chunk the chunker.
that'd make my day to like rent an Airbnb and then get a cool cat, assuming they weren't noisy.
I have to write a demo called Chunk now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that, like, lots of definitely have to be like a drop riff type song with like
Chunk.
Yeah, that reminds me. I told you I was listening to Silosis in the car today, and they had this great song that was like this slow, very easily played riff, but just like it was one of those riffs that just like perfectly had these like staccato riffs. So it'd be
Chunks.
like right.
You
So it'd be like
chunked it.
like it had like these great like little stops where like everything, the drum and everything stopped, and there was no like reverb trail or anything, and I was just like, oh man, it's just
Honky tonk.
Yeah.
We're like honky chonk.
yeah.
Have you described the cat yet?
It's a
I think it
chunker.
sounds like fat and black and, white.
yeah.
What more is there to say?
Nothing. It's a chunker.
Silosis riffs, apparently.
Right.
Chonk, chonk,
right.
chonk, chonk.
Well, thank you, Aki, for your wonderful cat pictures that we all can clearly see right here.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for everybody's second favorite part of the podcast. You better, you chonk.
You better, you Brett.
Second favorite, that's a bunch of hooey.
I don't know. People tune in for like specific segments, for the Aki Cat picture and for the Brett.
No, now all I can think about is how we need a song called Chonk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're writing an album, so
If you are a band, you better write a song named Chonk.
Yep. Oh, and I guess speaking of that, coming back to the European thing, we're coming out with a European edition. We completely forgot to talk about this. We're coming out with a European edition of Shadows from the Past, and it is going to contain the 2 Japan exclusive bonus tracks that we had planned for our Japanese release that never happened.
And we're aware that Japan is not in Europe.
Yep. Well, yet. Wait till the EU takes its clutchy hands. But anyway, so yes, if you want those extra tracks, if you either get on the Patreon and you'll get them when we release the CD, or order a CD from Rothschild Records. And now, without further ado, Brett, what you better do, Brett?
So Brett did a dummy thing this recently, near past thing. Brett double booked himself for something that he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many details we want to give away with that.
I don't care.
Okay.
If that's completely up to you.
Well, no, that's fine. But so we did this whole Europe thing, and we have a show on the 22nd with a great band called Battle Beast. And in my haze of craziness, was like, oh my fucking god, I need to go to Europe, book flight, go.
Beer.
I'm going earlier than these guys to go experience Oktoberfest and drink all the beer they have. Because that has been a goal in my life for a long time.
He's going to show up to the first day of tour like a pale husk. He's like, hey guys, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Anyway, you better.
Yeah. Well, in that haze of trying to get everything planned, I booked my flight during our show. So don't double book yourselves. Check your fucking calendars and don't look like an asshole like me. But on the good side, Mr. Dr. Vitus may be revitalized to
Mr.
save
Mr. Doctor. He didn't go to evil medical school for you to call him Mr. Doctor.
It's traces of the
Austin Powers.
Well, Elliot handing me the thing, and then say Baron Torrent von Hellister, or whatever he said, because he totally forgot what was going on.
He forgot your name.
Can we call him Mr. Dr. Vitus from now on?
We can call him Mr. Dr. Vitus.
My favorite part of that then is I'm holding the thing, and it's got like the severed mannequin heads, right?
Yeah, right.
And Facebook tagged one of the mannequin heads as some guy from Brazil.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the head.
I forget what the guy's name was.
It wasn't Ernesto?
It wasn't Ernesto, but Facebook tagged one of the mannequin heads as like one of Elliot's friends from Brazil. Maybe it was Rodrigo, I think.
Yeah, it was one of those.
And then Elliot goes on there, whoops, I'm pretty sure this isn't you, Rodrigo.
All right.
Good times.
Good
Ty,
times.
can you do Joe's impression? The impression of Joe when you called him and asked him.
So I called up Joe. I'm like, hey Joe, Joe's Dr. Vitus. I got a favor to
Mr. Dr. Vitus.
Mr. Dr. Vitus. Sorry, Mr. Dr. Vitus. I got a favor to ask you. Brett kind of fucked up, and he double booked. And anyway, can you play Battle Beast? He's like, yeah, I mean, all right. I haven't touched a drum set in like 2.5 years, right? I'm like, you'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah, well, all right. I mean, like, sooner you can give me the set list, the better, I guess. Did you just wake up? Well, yeah. I mean, I can't promise I won't suck, but all right. I guess I'll do it. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds all right.
That was Mr. Dr. Vitus.
I'm sure he will do wonderful.
I'm sure he'll do great.
I mean, it's only a 30-minute
What's
set.
2 years, right?
That's 2 years between friends. So, you better.
Don't be a dick.
We got some shows coming up soon, and let's see. We're playing next week. We're playing with Inner Siege on May 3rd. down in Peoria, Illinois, with a band that I've heard a lot about actually opening the show called Witchhammer. Bob and Sarah are big fans of those guys. They saw them, and I think they're coming to the show too.
Have we hung out with Inner Siege and Mass since Rock and Skull?
I have.
Okay.
But you guys have not.
All right.
Yeah, you did Metal Brocation.
Yeah, they came on Metal Brocation, and we had some swimming fun times on at Camp Suck-a-Dick, which we call you know.
And Jeremy was at Mad with Power.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeremy was at Mad with Power. Yeah, and the what was it? The Forget About It Forests. We
Camp Suck-a-Dick.
we get this this cabin which is on a private lake in Iowa. It's one of those Airbnb things, and the lake is unnamed, so we called it Lake Suck-a-Dick, and so we it became Camp Suck-a-Dick. And anyway, yeah. Because Joe was there, so there was always like, "Hey, Joe, fall, hey, yeah, suck my dick, hey."
Do you mean Joe, Mr. Dr.
Yeah,
Vitus?
Mr. Dr. Vitus was there.
Okay.
So we're like, "Hey, Joe, forget about it.
Yeah,
look at this forest. Forget about it."
Perpetually alternates between and hey, what are you talking about?
Let me tell you, Ty, that's not how I sound. Hey, this is you Italian, aren't you? Come on, I capisce. He's like,
Yeah, suck my dick.
Yep. So, so we have hung out with them. So we're playing with them and this band Witchhammer. I'm excited to see them. I've heard a lot of really good things. They've been in contact with us for actually a couple of years, like asking advice and things like that. So I'm really excited to actually see them live. I've heard some good things. Their songs sound great, like recorded. So
cool.
Could be cool. But then the next night we are playing in Minneapolis with the one, the only THOR.
Valor.
And if you haven't seen THOR, I'm putting a picture of old Thor and new Thor, or should I say 1970s Thor and old Thor.
Oh,
sorry, he's an older gentleman. I'm putting a picture of them right up here. Thor is just about as exciting and interesting as you think he would be. Like, seriously, the show is really fun. Like, his show is super, super duper good. I didn't know what I was gonna expect. I saw them a couple years ago in Green Bay, and I had no idea what I was gonna expect, but it was actually a really fun show, and I cannot wait to open for them. So I did THOR. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, there is a Netflix documentary called I Am Thor. Pause this, go watch it. It's totally worth the watch. It's amazing and hilarious and all of the above. So our buddy John Leibel, who was in Dawn of Valor out of Minneapolis, and also Ted, who is their bassist, got randomly picked through this weird set of coincidences to be Thor's new guitarist and bassist. And so John and Ted have been touring around with Thor for the last couple years and like writing albums and stuff like that. Thor was a recording. He was an artist back in like the late 70s, early 80s, and this dude looks exactly like He-Man, like almost exactly. Like if you dig in my record crate over there, like the third or fourth one should be the Thor record. This dude looks exactly like He-Man. And he was like a legitimate strongman, so he would like bend steel on stage and he'd blow up a hot water balloon with his breath and blah blah blah. I mean, he did a lot of craziness in there. And so John calls me up and he asks if I would be available. And I didn't know who Thor was when John called. Like I didn't know this. So he called me up and he asked if I wanted to do guest vocals for Thor. And I'm like, oh, it must be this new thing that John, like, it must be John's new band. Like I didn't realize it was a thing. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And then he's like, yeah, and check out the Netflix documentary. And I'm like, what? So there you go. That's Thor. Keep the dogs away.
Oh wow.
Yeah. There's a really nice fold out of Thor inside of there. Mostly for the ladies, but or is it, maybe it's,
Did it get lost in there?
Is it in here? Oh, there. All right, hold your breath, ladies. Here it comes. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, those dobies.
Yeah.
I'm more excited about the dogs. Sorry, Thor.
Yep. So anyway, Thor is a very manly man, and I'm very excited to finally be sharing the stage with him, our band, his band. I've gone on stage with him a few times and sung the songs I guest vocaled on. And so we're doing that in Minneapolis. And the place that we're playing, Lee's Liquor Lounge, it's us and 2 more shows, and then they shut down forever. They found out Lords of the Trident and Thor are playing, and they're like, that's it. Like, we've peaked. Shut it down. That's what they said.
It'd also just be nice to play the Twin Cities again.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
But yeah, last time we were there was Club Amsterdam.
Yep, and we played with Green Death.
Yeah. But I think we have. I wouldn't say we have a huge following up there, but I think there are a handful of people up there who really like what we do. So
yeah, a lot of people have been messaging the page, and
is that in Minneapolis proper?
Minneapolis proper.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of random, but I feel like it's funny that band Witchhammer. And I'm excited to play with them. It's really good they chose hammer and not some other like object or like implement. Like imagine if you're like witch toaster, witch chisel. Like, it just wouldn't have the same effect.
Witch sickle.
Yeah. Witchmobile.
Witchmobile.
Witch balloon. Like none of those others quite work as well as hammer.
But hammer, yeah.
Witch bandsaw.
Yeah, witch shovel. Just none of those are. So they lucked out in that. What they chose hammer.
On the drive up now, you're going to be calling him Witchmobile.
I think I might be calling him Witch. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the last band, Witchmobile. I mean, shit.
Witch chisel.
Witch chisel.
Yeah.
Witch planer.
Witch reciprocating saw. So that's coming up. And then in June 1st, we're playing with Psycho Stick again. That's going to be really fun.
But before that,
Bratfest. Yep. So the 25th we are playing Bratfest, opening for Smash Mouth. I mean, there are 8 bands between us and Smash Mouth, but we are still opening for Smash Mouth.
And we're on the island stage, which is in the tent.
Yep. Somebody.
Really?
So
yes.
you don't have any annoying sun coming down on us.
Correct.
Nice.
Well, what happens in the tent though
stays in the tent.
Yeah, it gets. You don't get sun in there, but the air gets very thick and heavy and steamy.
Yep.
Kind of sauna-like.
So, ladies, I hope you like musk.
I just hope it's not 94 degrees.
So we go on at noon on the island stage, which is in the tent. Ultrea goes on right after us.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple more bands play, and then I go on that same stage with my cover band at 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to play twice that day.
So you open for Smash Mouth twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, skip a few, then Smash Mouth plays.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, we're very excited to be opening for Smash Mouth. We're going to throw a bunch of toast at them.
I'm going to eat like 5 brats that day, and it'll be glorious.
Yep. I wonder how many brats Smash Mouth gets paid in.
Yeah.
So for those of you who've never
greasy
played
sack dripping.
that was always the joke because for those of you who've never played Bratfest before, which I'm assuming is all of you watching this, the bands, since it's for charity, the bands don't get paid, but they get paid in brats. So we get like
as many as you can smash in your mouth.
We get like 2 brats per person.
Take a banger in the mouth.
Officially. But there's also like a backstage area where we can get
the band hangout space was like super nice.
Yeah. It's good.
Well, a couple years ago, before they had that band hangout space, you only got 2 brats per person. So it was like we got paid in 10 brats to go play Bratfest. And then when like Tommy Lee, or not Tommy Lee, but Vince Neil, when Vince Neil played, we're like, man, wonder how many brats that guy's got. It's like 500 brats.
He goes to go home with 638 brats.
Big old sack of brats.
Slung over his shoulder, dripping all the way to the airport.
So we're gonna get paid in brats, and then we're gonna go play Milwaukee, not with Smash Mouth, but with Psycho Stick. Next best thing, right? And the place we're playing is an arcade, X-Ray Arcade. It's where the old Metal Grill used to be in Milwaukee, and it's gonna be fun.
It's just the Metal Grill.
So is that technically in Cudahy?
The old Metal Grill. It's in Cudahy, yeah.
Technically. But Milwaukee.
But, you know, it's like saying we're playing Monona. It's like, you just say Madison. I don't know, you know.
Monona.
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 Yep.
Yeah, Monona.
Yeah.
Not really.
Back in the day, Google, like the Google Voice thing used to say Monona as Manana. So we're like Manana.
Because it wasn't Google Voice, it was actually like the Garmin GPS.
Oh yeah, it was the Garmin GPS. Manana. So Manana.
Make it stop.
Yep. This just in. Mad with Power update.
Hold the phone.
That
So-
is lost forever.
So, Mad with Power Fest, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you need to get your tickets soon. It is going to be August 10th. We got less than 4 months to go to Mad with Power Fest. And we only have about 170 tickets left. All of the VIP tickets, every last VIP ticket, even every last sponsorship VIP ticket, which is a $250 ticket, all of them are sold out, which is absolutely insane to me, because like that didn't happen last year, and like all of them are just gone. So that's super cool, and we only have general admission left, so grab your general admission ticket. We have a couple of cool things that are coming with the VIP tickets, and we might have a few available for general sale, so get there early if you want some of these things. We have the Mad with Power Fest 3 patch, the embroidered patch, and if I move it in the light a little bit, ooh, you can see how it sort of shimmers and shines. Since it's the third Mad with Power Fest, everything is Super Mario Brothers 3 themed, right? So the patch is very cool. And I mean, how many people's battle jackets have yellow patches? Probably 0 or 1. Me. That's about it. So add some color to your battle jacket with your Mad with Power Fest 3 patch. And speaking of color, Aki, reach over and
Are you saying that because he's the ethnic?
No.
Here's this crimson blanket.
Here's this crimson blanket. Here is the brand new giveaway bag for Mad with Power 3, sponsored by Wheelhouse Whiskey. It is also Super Mario Brothers 3 themed. Drink Wheelhouse Whiskey. Its alcohol will help you on your way. It's the Toad House. The first 100 people through the door will get one of these bags with a compilation CD and a bunch of other cool stuff inside of it, totally free. And these bags this year, I think, are actually like better quality than last year's bags. These really seem pretty like hefty and well made. I don't know. Last year's weren't bad, but these things, bite it. You can't eat it.
No.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Right. And also, you can't punch through there. And also,
No, you could don't.
Pull that tight.
Checks out.
Checks out.
Passes my
Pass the
test.
test. So, and also it's a high-vis bag, so you can wear it biking and no one will crash into your bike. It's going to be great.
Guaranteed.
You were
Yeah.
smart to use China instead of Guatemala.
That's right. I had a choice. They said, do you want the tears of Chinese children or the tears of Guatemalan children? I'm like,
We can afford Chinese.
we can afford Chinese tears this time.
Yeah.
China.
So that's happening. So Mad with Power Fest is August 10th. Make sure you come for that. Make sure you grab a ticket now. We do expect to sell out. We have 20 arcade games and pinball machines that are confirmed to be there, and all of them will be on free play. That is, I think, 8 more than we had last year, which is a really big increase.
Is Death Ball coming again, or whatever that was called?
I'm working on Death Ball. It definitely sounds like Death Ball is going to be there. Cosmotrons is also going to be there. Death Ball is a pretty kick-ass game, though.
Yeah.
So I actually Tony, the creator of Death Ball, was one of the guys I talked to
Nice.
at Midwest Gaming. So come to Mad with Power or die alone.
Either die with people and Mad with Power.
Or die alone. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what I'm choosing.
So that's that. We came out with a bunch of videos in between last podcast and this and now.
To be real, you came out with a bunch of videos.
I came out with a bunch of videos in between then and now. You know, trying to keep the dogs away. Right.
Hey baby.
Hey baby. So first off, I came up. I did a. So I've been studying. I've been doing vocal lessons, and I've been studying classical and opera, with a doctor of voice for the last probably since like October of last year. So it's been a while.
Like a Mr. Doctor voice.
Yeah, a Mr. Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hope that sticks forever.
Yeah.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Doctor. I'm totally going to do that. But, you know, like, it got me thinking, I wonder if I could shatter a wine glass with my voice. Turns out I can. Yeah! It took way longer than I thought it was going to take. Like, I thought, you know, because, so you have to hit the resonant frequency of the wine glass, and you have to sing it at least 105 decibels. And so I'm like, I can sing at 105 decibels. I can hit a resonant frequency.
So
yeah. So, but like, god damn, it took all frickin' weekend. Like, I was probably screaming at a wine glass for like 2 days, you know, maybe 4 or 5 hours straight before it finally broke. And I mean, Heidi kept texting me this YouTube video of a parrot screaming into a cup, and she's like, "It's you. It's still you. It's still you." She
for hours and hours and then. Yeah.
It's just over and over and over.
Oh,
yeah. So
The
yeah.
one that you broke, was that the one that you started with? Like,
No, so that was another dumb thing, right?
I was wondering
I
if you
bought
gave it microfractures.
Yeah, I bought 4. So you have to buy leaded crystal, and so I bought 4 leaded crystal glasses, and you know, thinking, oh, I'll try one, and if one doesn't work, I'll move to the next one, and blah 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 blah. I guess what I should have done is just stuck with the same one over and over and over, because every time I was going into it, it was vibrating and like just making these little micro fractures.
Yeah.
And so I guess old crystal is easier to crack than, you know, brand new stuff that I bought from Target.
Makes sense.
Just curious, can you sing like that loud right now so I can hear how loud that is?
Yeah. Okay, everybody mute your speakers.
It's pretty loud. You couldn't do that in the library.
No. And I mean, that might not even be, you know, you have to project, you know.
You sound kind of like a fisherman's on the boat, like their horn.
All right, do that again.
And again?
Like a really peppy boat horn.
Okay.
Michi's like,
Then that's like a train now.
Yeah.
You're all welcome.
Yeah.
She's fucking scared.
So okay, next podcast I'll grab one of the wine glasses, and I don't know.
And our podcast will be 4 hours long.
We'll do it on the podcast for 4 hours. But yeah, like when you hit the resonant note, and when you hit it with enough force, you can, like, once you're done, it'll go like, it'll like still keep vibrating, which is actually pretty cool. Like, you can tell that you're doing it.
You're
right.
on the right track.
Yeah. And when you're holding it, you can feel it like zzz, like vibrating in your hand. So you just have to hit it enough times with enough force, and it'll finally do it. But yeah, that took way too long. It took way longer than I thought it was going to take. But God, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And I put a challenge out to all my vocalist friends, like, hey, can you guys do this? I bet you can't. And everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna totally go do it. Guess what? Nobody has. King of the pile. I win the internet.
King of the pile.
Yep. It's a pile of vocalists, and I'm the king of the pile.
King of the pile.
So
when we were doing that high note, you gotta zoom in on him, like,
yeah, just like no.
I wasn't sure how loud it would be too.
Yeah. So another exciting thing that wasn't a video, we're going to be in another video game called Groove Gunner. It's a VR video game, and it's actually if I can grab it, I'm going to put up some of the video footage of them playing the game with our song on here. But it's pretty cool. It's kind of like Beat Saber for people who've used Beat Saber, but it's a gun game. So like you can imagine, you'll see it here, but for the guys here, you can imagine like so it's like and you gotta like and then there's also like things to block, so like or you can put it in hard mode, like you can look like you're having a seizure in your home.
Great.
So that's cool. Another video that I came out with was I did some guest vocals on an Iced Earth song for Damien, and I filmed a video for that, and that came out on a different channel. But I think the cover turned out pretty good.
You did a cover of Iced Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, I did a cover of Iced Earth. I did the song Damien,
which is off the album Horror Show.
Mm-hmm.
That's a record I actually spent a lot of time playing to way back in my early Ottoman days. Spent a lot of time working on the old John Schaefer rhythm parts. Because that song is pretty mid-tempo, but there are some pretty fast and demanding gallop picking, down picking bits that Iced Earth is known for. It really kind of helped me get my right hand in shape back in the day as a youngster.
That's
really
what
kills
got
on
your
a-
hand in shape.
Yes.
Hey.
You sure? Yes.
You got a
Yeah.
cross.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like it was on a streak John Schaefer back then, because he did Dark Saga, Something Wicked This Way Comes, and then Horror Show, and they're all three pretty solid albums. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a fun challenge. I'd never sung any Iced Earth before. Apparently, that song, it's Matt Barlow, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So that song has Matt Barlow's lowest note and second highest note he's ever sang. So the high notes were really high, and it was a fun challenge to do. So I came out with that. And the last video that we there's a couple more. I can't. Yeah, there's so many videos. There's a bunch of Words of Fang stuff that came out. People like those, whatever. They're all good. I like them.
I like those.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah.
We came out with a walkthrough of our in-ear monitoring box, sponsored by SKB. So thank you, SKB, for sponsoring that. Speaking of talking about SKB, let's talk about our sponsors real quick. Wheelhouse Whiskey, Rocker Vodka, Boss Mead, and SKB cases. And finally, we have Wheelhouse Whiskey back, actually on the table, instead of cold cock, instead of chicken cock whiskey.
It's over there.
I actually picked up 5 more bottles of Wheelhouse from the Wheelhouse guys. So thank God, because I couldn't drink any more cold cock. It's still there. It's still sitting right there.
The way it's positioned, it looks like it says old cock.
Yep. Old cock whiskey.
I don't know why it's...
So thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to you on the Patreon for sponsoring this and being awesome. So anyway, so we did that video. We did an interview with Sarah Longfield, which was really well received. Lots of awesome comments on that one.
Yeah, that was cool.
Sat down with her talking about like the new music industry and how things have changed, and really eye-opening for I think a lot of the people that don't know what day-to-day life is like a musician nowadays is like. Spoiler alert, very different than what you think. Not exactly as glamorous as you'd imagine, but
It was a really good interview. Like, I thought you asked good questions, you gave her good time to speak and whatnot. I think, like, we live in an age where we don't have a lot of time, and we normally wait to just get to, like, the money shot of a video. Like, we just, like, skip parts or whatnot, or, like, in YouTube, it's not the arrow buttons, but it's, like, J and K and whatnot to skip 5 or 10 seconds forward or back, and
Yeah.
a lot of times when I get these
the money
videos
shot.
or links, I'm just like da 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 da. Okay, that's amusing. Da 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 da. I'm done. But like, I actually watched the whole video. I didn't actually skip any parts, and I feel like that's a testament to how it was a very interesting interview.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now I'm just focused on like, what if there was a money shot of that video? What would it be? Like,
JK, money shot.
You edited it so that the very beginning had an excerpt.
yeah, money shot. Yeah.
And it was like, if everyone in the music industry just got along.
Got along, but they don't.
I feel like the
Yeah.
part that a lot of the commenters keyed into was that part of the merch limits or
Yeah,
something.
merch cuts.
Yeah, merch cuts. That seemed to be like a really, big sticking point, and a lot of people kind of chimed in.
Well,
at
yeah,
that point.
I think that's an easy thing for everybody to say, like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's an easy thing for us to say that's bullshit too. I mean, like, a venue taking a cut of our merch sales, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Can I have a cut of your bar sales?
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like luckily, like, we haven't encountered that too often, but at the same time, we're playing maybe smaller scale shows versus Sarah, who's toured with some very big musicians and whatnot.
right.
Who did it?
Oh, yeah, I talked about that in the video.
Oh.
Yeah, they did at Steel Panther. They tried to do that. They also tried to make us. Another thing I talked about in the video.
Price match.
Tried to make us price match their shirts to ours. It's like, what the that's the stupidest thing.
We're not you. Like,
Yeah, we're not you.
yeah.
We're not a threat. Like, what is your deal? Like, why should we price our shirts at $25? It's like, no, it's
Steel Panther wanted you to do that?
yeah, because their shirt, like, when you and we got this also at when we opened for Puddle of Mud. They wanted us to, and we ended up doing this. They wanted us to, like, raise our shirt price, our crappy Gildan 500 that just said Lords of the Trident. They wanted it to go for $25, and we're like, why?
No one's going to want to buy it. If it's the same price for that and the main band playing, they're not going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
well, that opener was pretty good and it's the same cost. Like,
Yeah, might as well get the. It's like it's so dumb. There's absolutely no good reason for anybody to ever do that. So anyway,
But I agree that, like, that's probably it's something that we can all agree is an annoying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sarah, so that came out. Speaking of Sarah Longfield, coming out at, and most people who see this on the Patreon, or even not on the Patreon when it comes out a couple weeks later, will probably have seen this video by now. But we did a video that went kind of viral. Metal bands react to pop music, and a lot of people who are on the YouTube channel right now probably know us from that video. That video right now, almost 1 million views.
Really?
Are you serious?
Almost 1 million frickin' views.
Dang.
Which still is like, so thank you, YouTube algorithm. Thank you, Google. But Google. So because that was so successful, we decided to do another one with Cole, Metal Bands React to Pop 2, and this time we got Brent there, and we got a very special guest, Miss Sarah Longfield, came along.
Both the new additions were special.
Well, yeah, I know you're special too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So Sarah's on there, and we talked about the actual process of recording this last time, and how I was concerned that it wasn't as funny, or maybe like I wasn't as funny, and it wasn't going to be as funny as the first one. Because I mean, like, first one I felt like, yeah, like we really killed it, and I was worried. Now after seeing the finished product, man, no, it was as funny as the first one. It was definitely as funny as the first one. I think it turned out really, really, really well. And Sarah is freaking hilarious in that thing. Oh my god. She had some of my favorite lines, like, hands down. Mind control ass music.
I like how, and without giving anything away, we made almost the exact same comment.
Yes.
And he put them back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's not spoil it.
No,
Yeah.
not right now.
So check it out. Type into YouTube if you haven't seen it yet. Type metal band react to pop, and check out check out number 2, that will be out on Friday in
nice.
2 days from now. And, maybe I'll finish editing this and get it up tomorrow, and maybe you'll see it first. But
if you have a whole day to kill with nothing better to do, just go to the comments section and start matching wits with some of them people.
Oh god, yeah, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
Those of you who are on the Patreon, especially on the behind the scenes area of the Patreon, have already seen the video and have already loved it. So that's cool. And we've got some outtakes, and that's only for behind the scenes people from the video. So if you're not on the Patreon, get on the Patreon, put down that meth pipe, get on that Patreon. What else? Anything else? Is that it? I think
It's probably enough.
I think that's all I had. Did you guys have anything?
I don't think so.
All right.
No.
Well, we got a couple more Words of Fang videos that are on. We're like ready to go until August, basically. So we got some Fangs Metal Beer Club coming out very soon. More acoustic stuff coming very soon. And I'm gonna have so for those of you who liked the interview with Sarah, there's gonna be some more interviews actually coming down the pike very soon with some very interesting people who you may not expect us to know, but it's a coming. And I think actually people will be genuinely shocked when we come out with interview number 2 or number 3. Probably number 3. People will be genuinely shocked that we sat down with this person, because super duper famous person. So that's all I'm gonna say. So stay tuned. Get on that Patreon if you want to see stuff early. Let's see. Brent, you got the last word.
I guess I'd reiterate, put that meth pipe down.
Yep.
Don't be a dick.
Oh,
No.
ducky.
Chonk.
Chonk, 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 chonk.